welcome to another video of mine. Thought I'd do something a little bit different today to my standard vlogs and general racing content at race meetings. Since racing at the Nürburgring, a lot of people have asked the question, how fast is your car round a full Nürburgring lap? And when I mentioned the VLN lap times, they say, oh, that's a bit slow. But that's not taking into consideration the whole half of the Grand Prix circuit that we actually use. So I thought it'd be quite an interesting comparison video to do a qualifying lap of mine versus the new lap record for the Nürburgring set by the road car Porsche GT2RS by Manthey Racing. Manthey Racing also racing in the VLN, so there's quite a strong connection there. They've just retaken the lap record at a 6:40 I believe, for a road car, and it'd just be interesting to see the difference versus a race car. So these are the two cars. One's my BMW GT3 M6 car that I've been racing in the VLN series this year, and then the other car is the Manthey Racing GT2RS MR, it's called, that set the record quite recently. So I've pulled down both videos, both a qualifying lap from myself and the Porsche lap as well. I've tried to start both the laps roughly in a similar position. You can see on the right hand side where the BMW M colours are. I've tried to align the cars so they're just in line with the dark blue sections of the barrier on the right hand side. So I've completely disregarded the Grand Prix circuit for the VLN lap and then in the top right hand side we have the Porsche video. So yeah, I thought I'd play the video side by side and then talk about the differences that I think are quite interesting and how both of the cars achieve their lap time in two very different ways. So yeah, fully fledged race car versus a GT2RS. What are the differences? Let's go. So starting the lap, you can immediately start to see I've got the speed and gears and revs and everything for both cars, and you can see the cornering speed for the M6 is so much higher. But when you look at how fast the GT2RS is in a straight line, it's quite incredible. Going only 20 seconds, 30 seconds into the lap now, you can see that both cars are pretty close. The M6 is very slightly ahead at the moment. The hats and back is very twisty, complex at corners, so therefore slick tyres really make a big difference to the lap time. There's a little bit of traffic on this qualifying lap for the M6 as well, so but I think that's quite a good comparison. I did actually find a completely clear lap, but found that there was too big a difference by the end of the lap to actually make a useful comparison. So by having that small amount of difference with a bit of traffic thrown in there as well versus the Porsche's completely clear lap, it shows the differences better. So looking at the top speed now, the Porsche is 30 k's up on the M6 before the braking zone for Schwedenkreuz and is ahead because of the traffic, but by the time we get to Arenberg, the cars are exactly the same, and if anything the M6 is back ahead all of a sudden just from those two corners. Down the Foxhole again, the Porsche is way up on the M6. As we get to the compression, he has a little lift at 280, and we're down at 260, so 20 k's difference, but by the time we get to the top, it's a 20k switch the other way around. So you can see how these two cars are generating their lap time. So coming up to Kallenhard now, we've had a fairly quick first part of the lap. So the Porsches have been able to use its power. We did get into another twisty section again, so where the M6 will potentially pull away. Again, a little bit of traffic for the M6 lap. But it's still fairly significantly ahead, and we come down to the slowest point on the circuit. Cornering speed so much higher than the road car. Again, another little bit of traffic for the M6. It's not huge amount, but it still adds up, especially through the corners where that's the M6 advantage that it needs to play to try and stay ahead of the Porsche. Coming through the louder links, there's another speed differential of about 10 k's in this instance. Then into Bergwerk, is about 10 k's difference minimum apex speed there as well. But this is where the Manthey Porsche is really going to be able to stretch its legs. Just the uphill climb from Bergwerk up towards Klostertor. Or just about flat Fuking. Now a little bit of a lift there, but looking at the top speeds, we're struggling at 245 and the Porsche is still pulling at 280. That is impressive. And by the time you actually get to the Klosterol apex, there's maybe a couple of car lengths in it really, so it's actually pretty close. Braking points seem to be similar for road car versus race car. Again, road car on treaded tyres, and the fact it's actually carrying quite a bit more speed, but it's having to slow down much more to make the corner. And now you can see the more twisty section now. We've got away from the high speed stuff. The M6 is really starting to pull away with the extra aerodynamics and the big slicks in there as well. Yeah, it starts to open up a big lead now. Small amount of traffic for the M6, but we can nip past that quite quickly, quite easily. As the M6 is exiting Brunchen, the Porsche is entering it. Big slide for the M6 there. Looking at the minimum speed, so coming into the Beloff S's, the M6 is flat at 230. Looking at the Porsche now, which is just getting to the same point, it's 209, so there's 20 k's difference in the middle there with a small amount of lift over the bumps, which just emphasises the amount of aero that the M6 and race cars are actually running. As the M6 is entering the Dottinger Höhe, the Porsche is exiting the Schraubenschwanz, the mini carousel. So that's the difference in timings we're looking at, probably about 10 seconds or so. But now this is the interesting thing. 260, 265 is where the... No, 270 is where the M6 is going to get to, I think, by the end of the straight. And as I look to the Porsche, it's already doing 270 under the Audi gantry. The M6 is topped out at 270 underneath the bridge, and the Porsche is still pulling 307, 308. It's going to get to 310 easy on the just about saw 315 for the Porsche there, and you can see I've just stopped the M6 just to the pit entrance to the Nordschlife there, and I'm going to pause the Porsche just there. And that actually gives a lap time difference of 10.8 seconds. So yeah, there's your answer really for the pretty much comparable parts of the Nordschlife between a GT3 Racecar and the GT2RS is 10.8 seconds. So that would make a rough lap time for the GT3 of a full Nordschlife only lap of just under 6 minutes 30, so 6 minutes 29.2 maybe, as a rough guess, a rough estimate. So yeah, there's the answer to the question, and you can see how both cars achieve their lap times. It's quite impressive how they do that. Cornering and speed of the slicks and aero of the GT3 car, and there's the absolute raw power and torque of the 800 brake horsepower GT2RS. So yeah, you can now go tell your friends that that is the main difference between the two. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a like, and then subscribe for much more Nürburgring content to come on my channel as well. So ciao ciao.